Hi everyone. So today we have Michele joining us, and I just want to share the Parental CEO was created to help parents become successful both at parenting and in business. And we always want to add value to our community by sharing success stories or getting advice on others on how we can manage the best of both worlds. So Michele, can you just share a bit of more information about yourself?
Of course, yeah. So, hi, I'm Michele Akester-Marsh, pregnancy coach. I started my journey in pregnancy coaching. There's a bit of an echo on the line here. Can you hear it? Pregnancy journey coaching last year. I've got two boys who are 9 and 5, and they both gave me a lot of grief during pregnancy. The first time round, I suffered with hyperemesis gravidarum, which is really severe morning sickness, pregnancy sickness. Can't be called morning sickness. It's not the morning. So for 30 weeks, and I thought it was normal. Nobody ever asked me how I was, how I was feeling. It was all about the baby, and I just thought I drew the short straw, right? Well, or just that it was normal, really, to be sick so much, day in day out, and then I also suffered with other issues as well. Just lots of different issues, such as really excruciating heartburn and digestive problems and stuff because I was so dehydrated, all sorts. So I struggled on through, kind of lived a really surreal life of non-existence, I should say. That's probably like the best way of describing my pregnancy. So that put me off having any more children. And second time round, we decided to go for it. So there's a 4-year gap between my boys. Second time round, I decided that I wasn't gonna suffer in the same way. I mean, the sickness was coming and I was really, really ill again, but I decided to change my mindset and practice as a therapist. I'm a therapist, so I decided to practice all the skills that I teach other people, such as like meditation and massage and things. So I decided to change my journey, and that's how my business began. And it worked. I had such a different experience.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, that's good. So my overall mission really is to help pregnant women. Well, my overall mission is to introduce more respect, love, and kindness into the world. And I believe that ultimately that starts in pregnancy and when children are really young. So that's my overall mission. And because I suffered with such bad pregnancy, I decided that I want to help pregnant women get through those who are suffering, just to cope in a more positive light.
I'm feeling you 100% on that one. I had an awful pregnancy with Tobias all the way through, and I was like, I'm never doing this again.
Yeah.
And then Jackson and Alara. They've all been completely different, but they have had their ups and downs. And Tobias was really poorly with. Alara I didn't even know I was pregnant until halfway through, and then
Oh, wow.
I was absolutely fine. I was fit. I was energetic, and then 3 months in, I just burst out crying every day and just couldn't explain why I just cried uncontrollably. But then she was a girl, so I guess that's probably probably to do with some of the hormones. But
Yeah.
it's hard work, and well done you for noticing that and stepping up and trying to help out.
Yeah. I mean, I've done loads of research now on pregnant women, and I mean, I started my pregnancy coaching just helping women with hyperemesis. But I realised soon that women who are suffering in the throes of it, they aren't in the right mindset already. They just want to go down the medical route, which is absolutely fine, and but the medication is all that they're after. And then I realised that they have the other problems, such as girdle pain and or like the emotional side of things as well. So I kind of broadened my support to encompass many pregnant women. I mean, about 80% of women from my research suffer physically and emotionally. There's always an emotional side of it as well. It's not just a case of physical pain and suffering and sickness. There's always like the emotional side that comes with it. So yeah, just helping people cope cope, get through it. All these women who think that they feel guilty because they feel like they should be more excited, for example, and they feel like they're ungrateful. I mean, they're very, very grateful for their being pregnant, but it's just a case of they feel guilty because they feel they should feel more excited, more grateful, happier, all of that. And there's just so much involved in it. I'd be here all day if I explained everything.
Well, I think that's the thing, isn't it? It's there's this almost like this image that apparently when you get pregnant, it's like this perfect thing that just happens to you, and emotionally you're all together, and you don't cry or you don't have any problems, and then the baby just comes out naturally, and just like it's like a flick of a switch, and like it's almost like that's what the movies portray.
Yeah.
But in the real world, it's like, yeah, Lauren's like my hero. Like everything she went through to bring us 3 beautiful children.
Yeah.
And I know you struggled a lot with work as well. So the support system from work,
Yeah.
Breastfeeding, the pressure that's being put on you to breastfeed. I say pressure, it's
lack of understanding, isn't it? I mean, I became a breastfeeding support worker after not having any help with Tobias and really struggling because he was very hungry. And I did that whilst I was feeding Jackson, and he was about Alara's age. And then lockdown happened, and it's all been crazy. Now I'm back to square one, as in I'm a breastfeeder support worker, knowing all these hints and tips and help other women. But actually, I'm back to, oh, what am I doing with my own baby? And you're, like you say, your thoughts and your mindset start thinking, do I actually know what I'm doing? But that's just the hormones, right? And the lack of sleep. And she's got a milk allergy. And I was beating myself up a little bit, like, how have we not noticed this? It took us a month to find it out. And how have I not noticed this? And what should I do? And all those sort of things, where someone like just talking to yourself or somebody else could really help. And that's why I'm a big believer in the support networks and doing what we're doing. So yeah, go you. Well done.
Yeah. Well, it's all about community, isn't it? And there was that phrase, it takes a village to raise a baby, raise a child. And I just feel like over the past few decades, the culture, the pregnancy and like motherhood, parenthood culture in the Western world has fallen to pot. Really. I feel like it's all wrong. Like, I mean, the women who I work with, they say that they feel isolated. Well, like how can you feel isolated when you're supposed to have a community around you? It's people, like you say, it's a lack of understanding. And I think it's also like women have put I love feminism, but I do feel like it's shot us in the foot a bit. Like it's great that we've got all these chances, we can vote, we can do this, we can do everything, but the thing is we haven't had any of the traditional roles taken from us as well. Am I getting a bit controversial here? And so now we're just trying to do everything, and it's all those plates that are spinning, and it's about how to learn to manage that, how to learn to trust your instincts, like you're saying, Lauren, about am I doing the right thing? It's about learning to trust your own body, learning to trust your instincts. And again,
do you think the societal pressures on women to take those roles, or do you think there are societal pressures? Can you expand on that?
No, I think women have chosen to do it. I think women have wanted to step up to the mark over the past, I don't know how many years. But I just think that it's ended up that we've taken on too much, and now we don't know how to take the brakes off, put the brakes on, and how to sort of like manage our time, manage our emotions, manage everything. And I just think that's like a trait.
Do you think financial pressures add to that as well?
Oh yeah, definitely. Personally speaking, yes, for sure. Yeah.
And as a mum of 2, Michele, how do you feel about getting time to yourself? How do you still have the mum guilt around it?
Well, not anymore. because I have worked a lot over the past few months on mindset and, you know, my own personal development. And, you know, as a coach, I've been coached. I wouldn't be a very good coach, I don't think, if I didn't believe in coaching. So that's where I was going now. Yeah. So what did you ask me, Lauren? Sorry.
So basically, are you managing to get more me time? Are you getting time on your own where you can actually work on your own personal development, work on Michelle the person, not Michelle the mum?
Yeah.
Because I'm a great believer in that we need to fill up our own cups first in order to give a better version of ourselves to our family, our friends, and our business.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So you're managing that now.
Yeah. I mean, that is. I mean, I'm 41, and it's taken me this long to like get to this stage. Really, like my eldest is 9, as I said, and yeah, like the mum guilt is a real thing. The parent guilt, I'm sure it's the same for dads as well. It's, you know, just the guilt. And I mean, I feel sorry for my husband because he does miss out on a lot because he's always at work and he doesn't have the flexible lifestyle that I've created or that we've created. But off the back of that, I'm still now working and doing, you know, like the mum things and the housework and everything. And he's been doing lots of DIY because we renovated our house. So I can't fault him at all. He's amazing. He's my hero. But yeah, I've had to be really rigid over this past few months with having dedicated working time. So like if you look in my Google calendar, I've got blocks of time for my work. And just recently, I've decided that I haven't had enough time to myself. So now, because I work as a massage therapist as well, so I work Monday, Tuesday, and sometimes Wednesday evenings, and Saturday mornings doing massage and the odd like daytime. When the boys are at school, I'm doing my pregnancy coaching work. So actually, I'm working like 45 hours a week, or I have been. So I've said no, and then doing the cleaning on a Sunday, and I'm like no. So I'm now taking Friday off. Making sure that I get some time for me. So like I do some yoga or I do some breathwork practice. And in the mornings, I've said, right, I'm going to set my alarm early. And I do like affirmations and a bit of yoga, you know, stretches, and I do journaling in the morning. So I've made that conscious choice. And I think that's what it's all about. It's about a choice. You have a choice. Sometimes you need some guidance as to what choices are available and how to sort of implement the choices, but otherwise, yeah, it's a choice as to how you actually then manage your time. So yes, I do get time to myself. This is a long question.
Just kind of on that topic as well, trying to stay on that topic, because things that I know you won't mind me saying is that we struggled like relationship wise when you were pregnant than we have outside of pregnancy, if that makes sense. Is that something that you cover in your coaching, or is that something you talk about? Or
relationships are a big issue during pregnancy. It's the feeling misunderstood, especially I think when somebody hasn't experienced something, then how can you expect them to sort of understand what you're going through?
Yes.
But then likewise, I feel like there's an element of, okay, so I don't know what the pregnant woman's going through, so maybe I should try and understand. So I feel like there's like expectation that sometimes needs to be addressed from the pregnant woman. Like it's a bit of a blame culture, you know. But actually, when you look at things in a different way and sort of turn it around inwardly, it's a case of, well, why is that person acting like that? Or how can I change? I can't expect that person to change for me. So how can I try and make the experience different? And that's what I'm trying to advocate as well.
Because it was managing the emotions, wasn't it? So the emotions of like you're newly pregnant, we're having another child, financial pressures,
your
body changes, obviously you're changing, like
hormones.
That word again.
And it's just it's so difficult, isn't it? I mean, it's obviously, I don't know from the pregnancy side of it, but obviously as a husband, seeing my wife go through that, and we found it very tough at times, like trying to navigate that 9 months or post 9 months in some circumstances. As trying to stay strong as a relationship. Also, I'm trying to stay strong as a husband for my wife,
of course,
trying to support her as well, but not actually. Sometimes Lauren couldn't open up to me because I didn't understand.
Yeah,
it makes sense. And it's like having that community, as you're saying, or coach or somebody that you can confide in and have that discussion with. I'm sure helps women navigate that journey, because it is
100%, especially when there's nothing locally, especially with lockdown. Michelle, how have you found? Have you got more clients through lockdown, or because
I really started this journey as a result of lockdown. So I've been a massage therapist, as I said, but I've been practicing for 14 years now, and I specialize in remedial massage and pregnancy massage. So I also teach baby massage. So all of my baby massage work went online by Zoom. And I also started doing antenatal relaxation as well before lockdown, which was, successful. Everyone loved it. And I had more sessions booked, and all that face-to-face stuff came to a halt. So this has been really driven out of okay, what can I give to pregnant women during lockdown? How can I stay afloat financially, because I couldn't massage? And just from my passion really of wanting to help people, and knowing my own personal journey, and that I've got so much experience in not having such a good pregnancy. So I'm building is the answer. So progressing, baby steps, and we're getting there. It's ramping up.
It's incredible. Well done, you. Keep it up.
Oh, thank you.
How have you found the transition to the tech? Because a lot of people have obviously their hands been forced with Zoom and working from home because of COVID and stuff. How did you manage that?
I'm a bit of a technophobe, I won't lie. You sent me a StreamYard link, I'm like, what do I do with that? But I to be honest, I had another job before I left last September. So I've done a lot of website stuff in the past. So although I feel like a tech phobe, and there's a lot of new stuff that's come out, but I am fairly technically minded. I just don't always like doing it because it's not my forte. I like teaching.
It's different, isn't it? Because when you're physically there, it's almost like you can pick up the vibe of the room, and you can kind of get that sense. But when you're delivering online, I don't know about you, but I found it very, very difficult to kind of pick up the vibe. Are people understanding what we're going through? Because you can almost see people in the audience kind of go, what's he saying, or what they're doing, or and then you can kind of rein it back or ask questions, and it's been difficult.
I mean, the beauty of what I've been doing so far is mostly one-to-one work. And it's a lot easier when it's one-to-one. The group work is very new now to me. The online group work.
Yes.
So that's where I've been doing the one bits, and I haven't said that. I did do my antenatal online, so I did have small groups. I think the way I sort of managed it really was to communicate with them between sessions. To find out what, obviously during the session we're in a zone, and they know that, but and then to get the feedback in between sessions, so you can make improvements the next time.
Definitely. And you can, I guess as well, there's a huge opportunity with online work, when it comes to scalability. You haven't got that travel, you don't have to have customers from locality. Have you seen a change in that? So people from further afield starting to use your services, or?
Yeah, I've got people in America, Australia. I work my best, like my business bestie, if you like. She's in Mauritius. Not to do with the pregnancy, but like we kind of support each other through, because she's at a similar stage in business and she's got similar age children and everything. So, yeah, and actually, I've had fewer people from my local area, which is strange, but yeah, I love it. All over the UK too, not just international. Yeah, no, it's really good there. But that's the beauty of the online world, isn't it? Is you can reach so many more people.
Yeah,
that's what really appeals to me.
And this is what we're trying to portray with this parental CEO role, is like this, where you're free to kind of do your own thing, if that makes sense. And to do that, leveraging technology, leveraging the online world is one of the easiest ways to get back more spatial freedom. So geographically, you don't have to be in one location. You can travel, because the work that we do, we don't have to be geographically bound to Nottingham. We've done our work in Sweden.
Yeah.
We've done it
amazing.
You wrote your book in Scotland.
Wrote my book in Scotland. Yeah,
that's so cool.
But again, this is the message that we're trying to portray, and obviously just trying to understand your journey, how you transitioned into that tech. You've got customers from all over the world. It's just banging that drum again, that you don't have to be restricted by just geographically located. Like, oh, I can only find customers in my local village, or I can only find customers in Nottingham, because actually there's a lot of people that need support. And you know that as well as we do.
Yeah.
They're searching on the internet, or they're trying to find support, but that support isn't always there. And I think it's fantastic what you're doing, helping the pregnancy, or helping women. I don't know many men that can get pregnant, unless there's been some scientific changes or something.
Yeah, no, then you'd be very rich, wouldn't you? But that's the thing, though. Like, indirectly, it does help the men. It does help the dads as well, because I just think, like, from my personal experience, by putting my boundaries in place and making them a better mum and a better wife, I need to improve on the wife bit still, because obviously working evenings, I don't see my husband that much at the moment. That's work in progress. But yeah, but we're strong. We're really strong. And I think because I have now a different relationship with my children as a result of all of, like, the mindfulness. They love a massage. They love a mindfulness session. And just the way I am with them, I just feel a lot calmer in my parenting, really, a lot more patient. So so indirectly it helps the whole family.
It does, and I think it's, like I said, it's absolutely fantastic, and that support is needed, because I'm sure, had Lauren known about it, or had we known about pregnancy, because it's not something that I would have instantly thought, you know what, let's go and get a pregnancy coach.
Yeah.
And I don't think the message is spread wide enough about pregnancy coaching or life coaching, or because it's like, what's a life coach? What do they do? And I think you've kind of summarized in 24 minutes, exactly what the reason why somebody needs a pregnancy coach, because the mindset issues and the physical issues and those physical changes. I suppose one of my questions does actually lead into one of the problems that we had was with work. So Lauren had a lot of, was it identity crisis, or not wanting to go back to work?
Yeah, so obviously before I launched, well, it's technically not launched yet, so my business, I was working as a scientist, absolutely love science, it's all my background, over-analyse everything as usual, but that's a thing. But what I found was, before I had to buy us our first child, I was running events, Women in Energy, telling people how having a child never stops you getting to the top of the career ladder. Women go, go, go. It's not just men that can become CEOs.
Bless you.
And then, yeah, I came back after having to buy it, and it was like all my roles and responsibilities had kind of been stripped a little bit. And I was like, oh, where's my stuff gone? And they're like, oh, we didn't think you would want to travel anymore, Lauren, because you've got a baby now. And I was like, yeah, I also have a husband who can look after the baby or come with me. And then breastfeeding as well at work. I was still feeding Toby. So I was having to go into a room and pump, and it just felt so weird and disconnected.
Yeah.
And then again, the changes of the children. And to be honest, it's the reason why I've left my employed job. It's because I want to be a better mum. I want to be more present, and I want to be there for the kids. I don't want to have to pay to put them into nursery and things. And I want to build a relationship with them and take them all over the world and let them have the experiences. But corporately, there's something they are really working on around the maternity and the mindset shift as well. So yeah, definitely. And if you can get into corporate affairs as well, like well, we can talk offline about this, but you can get into businesses. They are desperately looking for somebody like yourself or whatnot to get people in the right mindsets before they go off. So knowing that they're going to come back, because it's so often that people don't go back to work after having a child. And you know, from the employer's point of view, especially for us, when we, you know, if we've got staff on our books, when they're going off on maternity, the first question in your head is, are they going to come back? What can we do to support them through the pregnancy? We're going to pay them for 6 months, but are they actually going to come back? What do they need from us? How can we be flexible around them and their child and those sort of things? So it's a massive pregnancy coaching is just amazing anyway. And it's just having someone in your corner, being able to support you, to say, it's okay, I get this.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not the only one that feels like that.
You're not alone. You're not alone. So were you disappointed then that your role had changed when you went back?
Yeah, definitely. Having the responsibility, I'm a high performer, always have been. So like, I always want to be the best, do the best. Not for like, I know, look at me, but for selfish reasons, because I always aim high, want to produce high quality work, and want to impact more people. That's me. That's how I work. So when I've been told that you can no longer travel to other countries to go to the conferences that you're making an impact on, I was like, hey, what? Why? Because I've got a baby. Well, since when's that ever stopped anybody else?
So really, it's the prejudice then, isn't it? You're talking about, like, of the stereotype. Well, you're a mum now. You know, your role needs to change.
100%.
No, it's not. It's out of your hands, and you don't be. Yeah, okay, I understand. Yeah.
But like you said earlier, we as parents, we take on so many different roles and wear so many different hats. But as mums, we have always got that, you know, baby comes first, baby comes first, baby comes first. Even from the moment you conceive, you know, you change inside. And I think that's the disconnect what you get from your partner. Even if we've got like quite a lot of friends in same-sex relationships, but just because they're both women doesn't mean they both feel the same thing, because one of them's having something change inside and the other one isn't, and they find the disconnect. So they're like, well, I'm a woman too, but like they don't get those hormones, those change, that priority that's just taking space inside of you. And the reasons why we stop going bowling or stop riding my motorbike, because I've got a baby inside me, I need to protect it. And that's then obviously you stop thinking about you and what you want. You're thinking about that baby and what that baby needs.
Yeah, and then, but the thing is though, that whatever stage you're at, it's always temporary, and that's one of the things that I like to get across is that, okay, so you can't do it right now because you've got priority, but then, you know, give it another week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you know, the 9 months, and then as the baby grows and everything changes constantly, and it's a constant evolution being a parent, isn't it?
Yeah.
It just always changing, new challenges, new joys, everything is changing.
It's got to be one of the most difficult transitions, I imagine, for a woman. Obviously, I don't know, but obviously from a man's point of view, it was such a difficult transition for me, like from going from no children, to then having my wife pregnant, to then supporting my wife because we had problems at the end of the pregnancy with the back and stuff. So then I've got to pick up all those things, and it's, I suppose what I'm trying to get at is like the support from a pregnancy coach or a coach, any support during that time would have been really, really nice, because emotionally, we were on, I wouldn't say we were close to divorce, but I think it's the closest we've ever been to divorce ever in our life. So I don't know whether that's in your messaging. Stay together, try and avoid divorce.
One of those things that really improve your relationships. For sure. I mean, for my husband, I know it was difficult because I didn't really appreciate it until I started on this pregnancy coaching journey. But we were talking about some of my content strategy one day. And I said, what else would you include, like from your point of view? And he said, well, I never really understood how you were feeling or what you wanted or needed from me. But he never thought to ask. I never thought to tell. And we were both in this like little zone, and he's trying to support me, but hoping by winging a prayer that he was doing the right thing and everything. And it's about communication and the connection, as you said, and it's a challenge.
Do you work with both partners? Trying to keep it politically correct as well.
I mean, I haven't been from pregnancy coaching because it's but there's no reason why I wouldn't. It's just that it hasn't happened, if that makes sense. That it hasn't. The women I've worked with haven't wanted me to at that time, but I have helped them through a lot of like the relationship stuff. Not a relationship coach, but it's the mindfulness side. It's the mindfulness. It's just learning to see things from a different point of view, and learning to accept. Acceptance is a huge part of parenting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Again, like going back to the challenges and things, like accepting each stage, each emotion, each pregnancy symptom, and accepting it. Do you need help with that side of things as well sometimes?
Well, that's awesome. That's some really, really good tips. So one thing I'd like to just kind of close off now is it's so difficult to have like the best of both worlds, but it can be done, and I think you're proof of that as well. But we can do it by helping each other and kind of sharing through the Parental CEO community. Well, that's what we're trying to do, and that's why we're sharing this live stream. So as a parent or as a business owner, have you got one tip, just one
tip
that you could pass on to our Parental CEO community?
It's hard to only have one tip. Okay, I think the biggest one is don't be afraid to change direction. Don't be afraid to evolve. And if things aren't quite working out, then look at a different route. Look at things in a different way.
That's absolutely fantastic. So hopefully everyone's written that down. Thank you for sharing with us, and thank you for coming today. It's showing up, and I really appreciate your commitment to the cause. I think it's absolutely fantastic what you're doing,
and likewise to you too as well. For sure.
It's so needed. It is, but again, that's what we're trying to do, is trying to highlight the issues that we go through as parents. And I'm not trying to be harsh. When I was single, not single, but we were not parents, it was our mindset was completely different. But obviously everything's changed when you have children, but I don't think you're ever ready for it. But if there's anything that can help you transition into being ready for it, I think what you're doing as a pregnancy coach is absolutely fantastic. So just really appreciate your energy and showing up today. the Parental CEO has been designed to kind of break the mold. It's a mentality that you choose to allow in. It means kind of putting aside all your kind of doubts, fears, and excuses. And something we believe very, very strongly is that we are stronger together as a community. So, thank you to everyone for listening today. And I hope you have an amazing day. So, thank you.
Thank you.